Hello everyone, my name is Sutton the Wolf and welcome back to Memories Dogma Code 1. It's been a long weekend. If you guys want to know why I haven't put out videos in a little while, check out the update video that I put out for this week. Family stuff was going on. We had a death in the family, and so I couldn't put out videos for a while. But we're all good now. So last time on Memories Dogma, we basically found out that Sodano was in fact actually alive. And well, now we've been explained a lot about what Kurita wants to do, why he's doing it, how he's doing it, what he is, what we are, and now we have the question of, do we feel like joining him? Their answer is a resounding no. I don't know if I actually have a choice or not, but I guess we'll find out. Hi, Sorano. Oh yeah, and she's alive but not conscious. I falter slightly. Of course, I definitely don't want to be Kurita's pawn, but defeating Kurita isn't practical at this point. At this rate, we'll never be able to beat him. I look around, but all my surroundings show me his despair. There's not a single sliver of hope for victory. Think. There must be some way to overcome this situation. But then I realized that no matter what I think of, Kurita will just be able to read my thoughts, so it's pointless to try and come up with a plan. Yeah, he can read minds. We still have one way to beat you, Kurita. I am all ears, Reina. Reina, if you think that we've got something to do, you can tell me. Dana mutters so softly, I'm not certain I heard her right. Dana, what are you? Dana seems hesitant to answer when I ask her. You really are brilliant, Torikasa-kun. What a plan! Kurita laughs as he looks over at Reina happily. Dana, please tell me. If we shut down those machines, Kurita won't be able to use their powers. So we'd have to kill Sorano. Kurita's just borrowing other people's powers. So all we have to do to beat him is cut his link with the manifestors he's harvesting. It's a rather simple method, but it'll work. But that means that everyone will die. Yes. They'll all have to be sacrificed. Dana tries to say it calmly, but I can tell her face is pale. There's no way we can do that. Even if they'll never wake up again, even if they're all vegetables, they're still alive in there. I'd have to kill Sodano and everyone else in there. Seeing how we've stopped moving, Kurita asks us happily. Can you really kill everyone here? You should know that some sacrifices are necessary in order to defeat evil. I glare at Kurita. But glaring at him won't change anything. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to kill all these innocent people. Reina mutters softly, then bites her lip. Hey, Sorano. Don't mind me, I'm just kind of contemplating whether to kill you or not. I look over at the sleeping Sorano again. I really don't want to if I don't have to. That's definitely the real Sorano. Perhaps you couldn't call her truly alive, but her shoulders still faintly move up and down as she breathes. I can still try to get that Sorano back. Should I try and fight to the bitter end, but end cling to that faint ray of hope? Or should I sacrifice her physical body forever in order to defeat Kurita, who did this to her in the first place? Oh, don't make me choose. Oh god, it's asking what should I do. Don't make me choose. Oh my god, really? Oh god. Well, I mean, I can't, right? Like, I can't. So this is going to bother me. So what's probably going to happen here is, so this game's kind of dark at times, and I have a feeling it's going to say, hey, you chose not to sacrifice her, so that means Kurita's going to win, and you're going to lose, and then game over. I have a feeling it's going to say that, and then I'm just going to have to redo it and go over the choice that I was going to make and do the other one. That is part of this game that I don't like. Like there was an option way back when we had Akane and Emma on our team, and I had a choice to either help them fight or leave them to deal with Sigma, and I wanted to help them fight, and as a result, I got killed, and it was game over. So I just had to go back through and do the other option, which I feel is kind of I don't really like that in a game. If it's gonna feign the option of choice, then do it. Like if you're gonna have the option of choice, then have choice. You know? But we'll see. Maybe I made the right choice, maybe I made the wrong choice. But I'm never gonna stoop to that point unless I have to. I'm never gonna sacrifice people unless I have to. I stare at Sorano, sleeping peacefully behind the glass. I can't do it. I just can't bring myself to sacrifice her. There must be some way to beat him without sacrificing her. Even if our chances are slim, I want to bet on that possibility. That's my decision. I really hope that this is an actual choice, and it's not just like a, oh, hey, you failed, or this was the correct answer. Like, I don't like it when games have two options and only one is correct, and if you pick the other one, you just lose. Like, especially in like a visual novel kind of thing, that's just kind of, that's unnecessary. Like, why fake giving players a choice? Yeah, I don't like that. Especially when both options are reasonable. I look up at Dana. I can't do it. I understand. After all, the Sorano sleeping inside there is still alive. Dana calmly accepts my decision. But... what the fuck? There's an who just shot her? I run over to Dana and lift her up, but she's not breathing anymore. There's a huge amount of blood pouring out of her back. Did Kurita seriously just shoot her? Aoi? What? Why is Aoi-san holding up her gun? Aoi-san drops the gun and looks down at her hand. She looks bewildered. I didn't... Oh my god, did Kurita make her shoot Dana? Kurita walks up from behind her. Very good, Aoi-kun. You're quite capable. Kurita. Aoi-san's expression and Kurita's response. Kurita must have used some kind of power on Aoi-san. I look over at Aoi-san again. Suddenly she's standing right in front of me. Her expression is devoid of all emotion. Before I can... oh my god, is she just going to choke me to death? Is that what's happening? Before I can finish speaking, Aoi-san extends her hands and wraps her fingers around my throat. She presses down tightly and I can't breathe. My body is lifted up. I try to move my legs, but all I end up doing is kicking at the air. Give it up. You've lost. Aoi-san's clearly using more strength than she actually should have. I desperately try to get her fingers off my throat, but her grip doesn't weaken no matter how much I struggle. Oh, and the screen's fading to black. Alright. I get it. I lost. In fact, it only continues to get stronger. I desperately try to suck in air, but nothing goes to my lungs. Blood rushes to my head. It feels like it's about to burst. My consciousness slowly starts to fade away. Aoi-kun, don't kill him, but don't let him live either. Kurita's disgusting voice is the last thing I hear before losing consciousness. And game over. Unless it's not. Where am I? When I next open my eyes, I'm surrounded by a deafening silence. My vision is blurry, and the only light is coming from a faint glow near my feet. Oh, you know, I just thought of something else. So I haven't researched this game. I don't know what the choices are and what they do. So, hear me out. What if I just assumed that since that one choice was a hit or miss, succeed or fail, that all of them are when they're not? That would be a pretty big oopsie on my part. If that's the case, and all of the options can actually mean something, That may have well just been a choice between killing off Soreno and killing off Reina. And if that's the case, then I may have actually chosen to kill off Soreno. Now I kind of actually hope I get a game over, or that Reina's not dead. Because if I just killed off Reina without knowing that was gonna happen, I just assumed that it was the option that you're supposed to want to pick, but not going to be able to pick. Crap. My vision is blurry, and the only light is coming from a faint glow near my feet. I try to move my arms and legs, but it feels like they've been locked in place and don't move at all. That's a typo. It says there instead of they've. I try to say something, but realize I can't even move my mouth. All I'm able to do is barely move my eyes. I focus my eyes, and after a while, my vision grows a bit clearer. Then when I move my eyes to the right and try to see where I am, I stare in shock. There's a girl to my right, Soreno. Soreno's right next to me with her eyes closed. When I see that, I finally realize the reason why my vision was so blurry and why I can't move. Right now, I'm inside one of those black capsules. I've become just another one of Kurita's harvested. Okay, so this is a game over. I couldn't protect the people important to me or the future they entrusted me with. I couldn't even protect myself. I'm sorry, Soreno. I'm sorry, Reina. I apologize over and over to those I couldn't save from inside my little capsule. Then I hear a low humming noise and my vision goes dark. Surrounded by darkness, I lose consciousness. Game over. Bad future. The truth is not yet revealed. So once again, I am forced to pick. Is it just going to go to title screen? Or is it going to go back to the choice? Oh, I have to redo all of that. Oh my god. But, yeah. So that kind of irks me about this game. That it's like, hold on, let me load. But it's like, oh, there's one option that's correct and one option that's not. If you don't do the correct option, you die. If you do the correct option, the story continues. That's not choice. Like, that makes it seem like there's a different way to play this game. You can either play it as the sympathetic person who wants to cling to hope as long as possible, or the realistic dark person who's willing to sacrifice things at a moment's notice. Like, either of those scenarios are legitimate ways you could go about doing something. And I feel like this game is trying to have the message of you cannot escape inevitabilities. And it's trying to orchestrate that through fake choice. And I mean, I just feel like there are better ways to do that. Like, I get it. I don't disagree with it, but it just feels bad. Like, it just kind of takes away from the game to have to go through it again just to, say, oh well, I guess I made the wrong choice. I wanted to save my dying girlfriend. Guess I'm just gonna doom everyone now. Like, I don't know. I get that it's not supposed to be that simple. Like, a lot of these types of games are very simple in that it's like, oh, just pick the best option, get the best ending, yada, 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 you're done. This game is obviously trying to say, like, hey, you can't have everything. You have to let go of the fact that you have to let go of the hope that everything's going to be fine. It's clearly not. And I guess I'm okay with that. I'm not used to it. But, I mean, I guess it makes sense. I don't know. That just rubs me the wrong way. Alright, hold on. Alright, come on. Yep. It also takes away from the immersion, Like, having to just kind of insert yourself back into the time period again. Like, after you just fucked up and killed everyone. Like, I don't know. I obviously wouldn't like it if I have to start the whole game over just because I fucked up, but, like, still, it really feels bad. This method of doing things really feels bad. But, alright, so now I'll do the correct option of sacrifice Soreno. I've decided. Let's shut down the machines. Hiroki, are you really okay with that? They even like show Dana being all sad and Sodano being like in the background. Yeah, we're gonna get out of this alive. Of course Sodano is still precious to me. But we're the only people who can stop the person who ruined the lives of Sodano and everyone else trapped in here. The person who drove Aoi-san into a corner. The person who nearly killed Kakeru. The person who's committed countless sins. We're the only ones who can stop Kurita. Now is the time to use the life Sodano sacrificed herself to protect. I need to do this for Sodano, who wished for a better future, who believed I'd be able to preserve the balance of the world. And also for Reina, who is the only reason I'm alive right now. I mean, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this now. Like, it just feels bad to have the fake choice. I get it, and the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. But the person in the naturally goody two shoes person inside of me is kind of screaming at me like, this shouldn't be what you want to do. Like, I'm so used to having like the option that will lead to like everyone being happy. You know, I've played so many of these games that are just cheerful and like a lot easier to execute and like deal with. So having one like this where it's actually darker and like forcing you to do something you don't want to do, or maybe are not forcing yourself to make sacrifices, that's not something I've ever had to do in one of these before. Alright, I get it. I should be a bit more open-minded. Alright, maybe there are better ways to go about it, but at the same time, I can understand it. The message is there. There is inevitability, and there are things that you can't avoid, and there are things that are going to be taken away from you that you can't control. And they are showing that through the option of fake choice, where you don't really have a choice. You have to do something. I get that. I'm okay with it. I've come to terms with it. All right, move on. Reina looks down at her feet for a moment before saying, all right. The only reason I was able to make it this far is because of you, Hiroki. Reina smiles gently as she says that. That's why I'll put my faith in what you think is most important, Hiroki. Why hasn't Kurita just shot us right now? Or gotten Aoi to shoot us? Reina, thank you. Reina's accepted my choice. So that's the answer you've chosen, Kurita says expressionlessly as he hears our answer. That's right. Your ambitions end here. Except, you know, in the bad ending, they just shot Reina and then captured me. There was, like, no hesitation whatsoever. Here, now that we're selecting the good option, there's hesitation and the villains are being stupid. Like, that does bother me. That kind of does bother me, because they could have... If Kurita really did want to just shoot Reina and kill me and, like, use me as a harvested, he could easily just do that at literally any moment right now. Like, I'm really curious to see how they get around that, or if they do at all. If they don't address that at all, then I'm going to be a little bit annoyed. It's a bit late in the game for it now, but I suppose I shall commend you for your resolve. Kurita smiles. It's like he doesn't care about our declaration at all. He shouldn't. In fact, he should kill you right now, if he were smart. He's underestimating us, thinking there's no way we'd be able to shut down the capsules. You plan to kill every last person here? Let me talk instead of shooting you, like I obviously showed that I can. Rage wells up within me when I hear Kurita say that. However, it's true that that's basically what we're going to do. But I've already decided. I slowly stand up. I face off against Kurita. And suddenly I hear a metallic click behind me. Okay, so there's Aoi. But, again, this buildup is not necessary. If Kurita really wanted to, he could literally just have Aoi shoot us. Shoot Reina and then capture me. That is literally what happened in the bad end. You have proven to me that this is a thing that can happen and should happen. So why can't it now? How come now that I've picked the good option, it suddenly, oh, well, there's hesitation. Like, that's bullshit. I'm sorry. That is pretty unexcusable in my opinion. When I turn around, Aoi-san's pointing a gun at me. Oh god, now it's going to pull this on me. Hiroki, are you going to abandon Sutton? I tried not to, but the game's making me. No, I'm not abandoning her, Aoi-san. That's right. Good job, Aoi-kun. Kurita slowly walks over to Aoi-san. This is the same, really. Oh, please don't move, Kusahara-kun. Your recovery ability is indeed amazing, but you are by no means immortal. Do please keep that in mind. That didn't stop you last time. It is most certainly possible for me to kill you. Yes, it is, so why aren't you? And if it turns out that I actually cannot kill you, I can always kill Orikasa-kun. Kurita stands next to Aoi-san and lightly pats her shoulder. You'll have to make some sacrifices too, since you weren't able to save your dear sister before. Don't worry, once all this is over, you can have Sorano-kun's memories and her body. I mean, they kind of explained it, like... I still don't know why she hasn't just killed us yet. This is just unnecessary torture that would make Aoi slightly less willing to do this, which would be bad for him. Kurita's just trying to shift the blame onto her. If Aoi-san had been there when Sutton died, then maybe she could have saved her. Kurita's using that kind of logic to cause Aoi-san to hate herself even more, and make her more susceptible to listening to him. I guess there's that. That's fair, but... Then he's showing her a potential path to redemption, a way to undo the past. A way for her to clear away her self-loathing. By doing so, he's making her think it's necessary to take this path. This was how Kurita deceived and manipulated so many people. Aoi-san, it's not your fault that Sorano was kidnapped. There's no way you can undo the past. I can't do it and neither can you. You'll never be happy if you do this, Aoi-san. Aoi-san doesn't say anything. She just points the gun at me with trembling arms. In the end, Kusahara-kun, you don't have the guts to kill someone. That is your weakness. Even if you can manifest your power, without the will to use it, it's meaningless. Again, why have I not been killed? In the bad ending, Aoi did it while under Kurita's control. Kurita can literally kill me at any time. And he's telling Aoi to do it instead. That is pointless. There's no reason for this. Aoi is just a pawn for him. Why would he need to keep her invested like this? Like, she's disposable to him at this point. Why is this a thing? This bothers me way more than it should. But don't worry, I'll use your power quite effectively. Now then, I grow tired of this charade. So do I. It's time for you two to leave the stage. Shoot them, Aoi-kun. They're gonna go stiff beside me. And now that I've taken the other option, now and seen that it's bad, now I know there's no tension anymore. Now that I know that this is the one and only correct option, I know that nothing's gonna happen to me. I know that I'm fine. Like, obviously she could shoot me, and I just wouldn't die. The game would still continue. There's no risk anymore. Like, now that I know that this is the correct option, there's no feeling of, oh, did I make the wrong choice? That's not a thing anymore. It can't be a thing anymore. Now it's just either there's two bad options, and I just took the one that continues the game, which feels bad, or this is the good answer, and I know for a fact that nothing's gonna go wrong, and I'm not gonna, like, get anything. So, I don't know. I'm still really on that. Adana goes stiff beside me. Or behind me. Beside me? Behind me? I can't remember what it said. I step in front of her to protect her. Aoi-san's whole body is trembling, and it looks like she'll pull the trigger at any moment. Doesn't look like I'll be able to get through to her anymore. However, I let out a long breath and slowly raise my hands. Are you just... Alright, I'll let this play out. I'm not going to say anything yet. I understand, Aoi-san. What? You've made your decision, Aoi-san. And, well, so have I. I suddenly take a step forward. When I step forward, I feel my heart squeeze tight. Aoi-san puts her fingers on the trigger. You finally put your finger on the trigger, Aoi-san. You don't really plan on shooting, do you? That's not... It's fine, Aoi-san. It's fine if you shoot me. Why? After all, I understand how you feel. If it'll let me talk to Sorano, then I don't care if it's even just memory data. I'll do anything. I still feel that way a little bit. So that's why I take one more step forward. I still don't hear a gunshot. So that's why if you choose to shoot me, at least make sure no more harm comes to Sorano after I die. Again, the second Kurita determines that there's a risk that Aoi's not going to do anything, he could just control her and do it. Like that kind of eliminates the tension here. That just really bothers me. I'll be leaving Sorano to you. I take one more step forward. Not another step closer. I hear a thunderous gunshot and feel a sharp pain in my right shoulder. So I've been shot, but I'm not dead yet. I take another step forward. Stop. And another. Please. Aoi-san. I grab the gun and push it against my chest. You've got to aim here if you want to kill me. I hold the gun close so that Aoi-san can feel the beating of my heart, so that my feelings can reach her. Now choose, Aoi-san. I stand there waiting for Aoi-san's answer. Regardless of the outcome, I won't have any regrets. I just don't want to see Aoi-san suffer any more than this. That's fair. That I like. I'm okay with that. I would have been totally okay with this scene if it weren't for the scene that I had before where I died. Or became a vegetable. Eventually, Aoi-san starts sobbing. In the end, Aoi-san can't pull the trigger. I slowly put my hands on the gun. It's alright. I slowly take the gun from Aoi-san's hands. Aoi-san starts wailing and tears gush forth as if a dam has burst. I gently pat Aoi-san's back. If things had been just a little different, I might have been the one pointing the gun at someone. It's a really depressing thought. Aoi-san just wanted to be forgiven. That's why she picked such a perilous path. She chose to throw herself into pain and suffering. But at the end of such a path is just more suffering. I look over to Reina and entrust Aoi-san to her. Again, you could have killed me at any time, Kurita. This is... I had hope that you were a decent villain, but you're not. You made the classic mistake of... Well, I guess I could have killed you, but I didn't, so now I lose. This isn't... I glare at Kurita. I expect him to start ridiculing us, but instead he looks shaken. Oh, what's going on here? Kurita curses while holding his head in his hands, and he tells us to shut up, because I forgot to voice that line. His expression is a mixture of annoyance and confusion. I signal at Aina to take Aoi-san to get away from me. Shit! Shit! I didn't kill you! Oh my god. Kurita swings wildly at the air in front of him. As he does so, space itself looks like it warps for an instant, and the ground at Kurita's feet cracks. The crack starts snaking towards us. Good music, I will admit. I jump to the left to avoid them. The cracks travel all the way to one of the black pillars. The glass cracks and the AR display vanishes. Then suddenly the pillar's lighting vanishes and the inside goes dark. You! I won't forgive you! How dare you defy me! The air around Kurita grows heavy. It's coming. As Kurita begins to move, I dash forward. We both start running towards each other, but I'm the one with the head start. I paint a picture in my mind of all the blood in my body flowing from my torso to the tips of my fingers and toes. As if following the outline of my image, the tingling feeling runs through my body. I throw a punch, aiming for Kurita's jaw. Kurita crosses his arms in front of him. Before my right arm can make contact, it's repulsed by an invisible wall of air. But it's not as powerful as before when it blew me away. In fact, it feels almost as if my arm manages to sink a little ways into the air wall. You little! This time I use my left fist and aim for his stomach. I'm blocked by yet another wall of air. This wall of air is even weaker. One more push. I gather strength in my right leg, and with his arm still crossed, Kurita jabs his left hand out like a spear. I instantly try to change the trajectory of my kick, but I'm too late as I feel a stab of pain on my left side as air whooshes past my cheek. I grit my teeth in pain, but I still lash out again with another punch. I feel it blocked by another layer of wind. Meanwhile, Kurita bends his left arm around the right side of his head. He then throws a wild backhanded haymaker at my temple. A powerful shockwave of air passes over my head. The strength of the wind pulls a few of the hairs off my head. However, I keep low enough to avoid a direct hit from Kurita. But then a strong gust starts blowing in the direction that Kurita swung in. Withstanding this sudden gust, I push off with my left foot, jumping slightly to the left. I move in close to Kurita, putting myself as close to his torso as possible. Kurita's body is pulled forward because of the force of his swing. Leaving his entire torso completely unprotected, I pound my left fist into him as hard as I can. Using the power of his rotation, Kurita brings his right hand down to block. He parries my fist downward with his hand. The parry knocks me off balance and I nearly fall over. Are we at the end of the sound loop? Yep. Ah, that's a bummer. However, instead of trying to resist the pull, I go with it and roll onto the ground. But because of that, I end up turning my back to Kurita. I make a split-second judgment and decide that it's more important to put as much distance between us as possible than to turn around. I sneak a quick sidelong glance back to Kurita and see that he's unleashing another spear thrust. I roll slightly to the side to avoid a straight thrust. There's a hole drilled into the floor where I was a split second ago. I stand up and turn around to face Kurita. Shit, what on earth is this? What did you do, you bastard? Kurita's been spouting incomprehensible stuff for a while now. I don't even know what you're talking about. Kurita doesn't answer my question, he just takes his stance again. If I can kill you then? Kurita starts to make another sweeping motion with his arms. But he stops halfway and covers both his ears with his hands. What are you saying? Shut up! Stop! Oh, are the harvested, like, fighting back? This is the opening I needed. That's probably what happened. Okay, so if there's still the feeling of, well, he still could have killed me at any time through controlling Aoi, but it's better, but it's not great still. Because now, if this really is like, oh, the harvested are revolting against him and not letting him control them and like use their powers, then you could say, oh, he couldn't have controlled Aoi. But at the same time, he could before. So I don't know what it was that like caused them to suddenly be like, oh, we're not going to do this. And in that case, my best guess would be, oh, I guess it's the dialogue between Aoi and Hiroki. And then it's just a mistake from Kurita to not have killed us. And that's better than him just not kill. Like, then it's just him not killing us in time, and it's just instead of him just not killing us. So that's better. Still feels kind of bad, but that's better. It's my only chance to beat him. I charge Kurita. I focus on everything I have into my right arm in order to pierce through Kurita's defenses at a single point. Kurita feebly waves his right arm at me while groaning in pain. I don't even bother dodging. I don't want to stop my momentum even a bit. A strong gust of wind blows past me. I don't see anything pass by. But as the wind slams into me, a huge gash appears going from my right thigh all the way to the upper left half of my chest. That was a typo. The fuck? But I don't stop. I throw all of my weight forward and raise my fist. And then I let it fly. Whoa! Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Oh, and the music change. Oh, and Sotano's in the background there, like he's fighting for her. Oh, man. Okay, that redeemed it a bit. This is cool. This is awesome. I still don't forgive the past transgression I've been making slights at, but this is cool. Kurita thrusts both hands forward. This feels like a final fight. A wall of wind locks my fist once more. But this time... Oh, this is sick music. I love this. I'm gonna blow past it. I push forward with both legs. My fist slowly sinks deeper into the wall of air. I feel my fist shatter through some thin pain and the resistance vanishes. Oh, I love this music. This is so cool. My fist connects with Kurita's face. The resounding impact of it reverberates throughout my body. Kurita's body is blown backwards. Kurita's head crashes into the wall behind him, and he slowly slides to the ground. I stare at him warily, but it doesn't look like he's able to get up. I stare at my right hand. I was able to get back at him with this hand. I walk over to Sutton. Sutton's sleeping peacefully, not moving a muscle. Was I able to fulfill Sotano's wish? Hiroki, the control system for these capsules is probably linked to Kurita's MRD. Dana says as she walks up beside me. So while Kurita's unconscious, we need to... Got it. We can't waste the chance that Sotano gave us. I walk over to the collapsed Kurita. He's definitely unconscious, but seeing as his shoulders are rising and falling slightly, he's probably not dead. We need some way to tie him up. Now that we've learned the truth, we need to tell the public about it, which means we need to make him talk somehow. I lean over to try and take Kurita's MRD as I consider all this, but as I reach out my hand to take it off his left wrist... You will not! Kurita thrusts his right hand outwards towards me. I fly through the air and crash into the ground a few meters away. Trying to bear the pain, I lift my head up and see Dana running over to me. But behind her, Kurita takes a gun out of his breast pocket. He then takes aim at Dana's back. Dana, get down now! Huh? She better not be dead. A second later, I hear a gunshot. Oh, god damn it. Dana collapses on top of me. Dana's face is right next to me. I hurriedly pull Dana into my arms and quickly check her back, but there's no blood anywhere. Oh, did he shoot himself? I look over at Kurita and see blood pouring out of his chest. Oh, it was Aoi. Okay. Wait, where did she get a gun? What? I took that gun from her. Aoi-san's standing next to us, her gun pointed at Kurita. Aoi-san's the one who fired. Why did the Nana fall over, though? That was unnecessary. That was a tease that did not need to be there. Kurita backs into the wall and slides down, leaving a trail of blood behind him as he collapses. Reina and I stand up and head over to Kurita. Now it's really over, Kurita. That was unnecessary. They did not need to tease me like that by having Dana fall over. That was unnecessary. Kurita grins as blood dribbles out of his mouth. Do you truly believe that my death is the end of it all? What? I'm not the only one who's going to be buried here. Kurita points to a corner of the room with a trembling finger. We all look towards the corridor of the ceiling the corner of the ceiling that he's pointing to. There's a security camera there. Kurita! Dana suddenly shouts. I look back at Kurita and see that he's doing something on his MRD. Shit, he was just trying to distract us so he could use it? Oh, is he gonna make the place self-destruct? I've got a bad feeling about this. I take my hand off Dana's shoulder and run over to Kurita. But Kurita just thrusts his left hand towards me and laughs. I'll be taking you with me. Again, props to the voice actors for trying their hardest with this. That's a difficult voice line to have to say in that emotion. With, like, try saying, like, a resounding few last words aggressively as someone who's been shot. That's hard. Suddenly, a warning noise blares throughout the room. Concealment sequence activated. This research facility will self-destruct in 20 minutes. All personnel, please evacuate immediately. What? This research facility is going to blow up? Stop the countdown! I grab Kurita's left wrist and shout at him. But he's already dead. Damn it. So, there are some things... Oh, it says disconnected on Sotono's thing now. But there is the argument you can make now of saying, like, oh, hey, why didn't he just make it blow up now? But he did say that there are other people who are going to continue it after he's gone, which I would assume means that he set a timer on the self-destruction, thinking that we can't get out in time, and giving his other, like, his allies time to exit. I slowly let go of Kurita's hand. So I'm not mad about that. 20 minutes is a long time. Maybe like 10 minutes or 5 minutes would have been better, but I feel someone's hand on my shoulder and I turn around. Hiroki, look over there. I look over to where Reina's pointing. It's the capsule that's holding Sotono. The AR display at the top changes colors to red and reads disconnected. Don't tell me. Sotono's most likely. I think when Kurita died, everyone else linked with him also. Reina trails off. When I look around, I'm not even reading at the moment, I'm just looking at Sotono's figure that says disconnected. That's sad. Man, all this and we didn't even get to save her, it looks like. I try to like right-click and get a view without text of like every single like art that we get. I guess we've already had this one before, it just didn't say disconnected. When I look around, all the capsules say the same thing. That word is all I need to infer what must have happened. No. So all the manifestors here died? It's too dangerous to remain here. Hiroki, let's go. If those of us who know the truth die too, then no one will be able to stop this anymore. I really hope that Aoi doesn't try and die here. I hope that Aoi doesn't try and remain here. That's why we need to get out of here alive. Yeah. You're right. She's right. Our job's not done yet. We need to bring the truth back with us. Right now, all I can do is prolong this life that Sutton gave to me. Let's go. Yes, let's. We stand up. Concealment sequence active. This research facility will self-destruct in 19 minutes. All personnel, please evacuate immediately. We've got 19 minutes left. We've got to get out of here within that time. Aoi-san, let's go. I don't say no. I look over at Aoi-san, but she shakes her head. Yep. I will stay with Sorano. Aoi. There's no meaning for me to keep living when I couldn't even protect Sorano. So I really hope we can convince her to leave for two reasons. A, I like her and I don't want to see her die. B, if it's literally only me and Vanna that survive, we're already wanted criminals. Why would they believe us? Aoi-san is the one here that can, that should be she should be the only one who can deliver the truth. Like, if she stays here and dies, that's gonna bother me. I tightly grab Aoi-san's hand. If you're not leaving Aoi-san, neither am I. What are you saying? After all, I wasn't able to protect Sorano either. Hiroki. Concealment sequence active. This research facility will self-destruct in 18 minutes. All personnel, please evacuate immediately. 18 minutes left. Aoi-san, please. Don't let me die here too. Aoi-san and I stare at each other silently. We just stand there looking at each other for nearly a minute. Suddenly, I feel Aoi-san grab my hand back. Alright. Okay, I'm glad we avoided that. If they actually pulled that, I was gonna be pissed. Alright, we're good. Aoi-san nods slowly. Suddenly, the ground beneath us rumbles, and a thunderous roar echoes around us. Have the explosions already begun on the lower floors? We need to hurry. Come on, Aoi-san. The three of us run for the entrance together. Oh, now we've got this again. We got this music again. We passed through the same rows of capsules we walked through on our way in here. Each and every one of them has gone dark. Just like when we came here, the only light we have to guide us is the slight illumination at our feet. We finally make it back to the entrance, but unlike when we came in, the door isn't open this time. Now that I think about it, right after we came in, the door locked behind us, didn't it? Ah, shit. I panic for a moment, worried we won't be able to get it open, but... Hiroki, over there! Dana points out a panel next to the door. I run over to it to see a rectangular panel with an AR display on it next to it saying locked. Give me a second. Dana fishes inside her inner pocket of her jacket for a while before pulling something out. It's a card of some sort. It must be some kind of ID card that Connect Center researchers have for authorization. I was the one in charge of all this research, so I should have access to the system as well. Probably. That's clever. As she says that, she presses her card up against the panel. With a small electronic beep, the AR display changes to read unlocked. Quick, back to the door. Dana and I head back to the door. It's open. I was thinking of throwing it away before, but I'm glad I didn't now. This is probably the first time I've ever felt thankful to Kurita, since he didn't revoke your access. Dana and I share a quick smile. Alright, Aoi-san, you're... As I turn around, I feel something push harder. God damn it, she's gonna push us in and then lock it. Dana and I stagger a few steps forward due to the force, enough to clear the doorway and make it into the hall. Damn it, Aoi! When I turn around, I see Aoi-san still within the room. Damn it! You can't just cop out like this, game. Aoi-san should live. Like, this isn't me just saying, oh, I like this character, let her live. Like, it doesn't make sense for her to die, because we just had her get over the feeling of forgiveness, of her, like, just, of having failed Sorano. We had that great thing going of Hiroki and Aoi being like, the same, and Hiroki being like, okay, if you're gonna die, I'm gonna die too. We both failed an equal amount here. Like, that just goes all out the window now if Aoi dies. And, like I said before, Reina and Hiroki are wanted criminals. They're not gonna just listen to them. In a real world scenario, they wouldn't just listen to them. They'd think, oh, these two wanted criminals just blew up a facility and are now trying to make it seem like they're the good guys. That's how that would work. Aoi is the one here who can testify. This pisses me off a lot. She pushes Dana and me outside, but she doesn't take a single step out herself. Aoi-san smiles faintly when I call out to her. Sorry. She mouths silently before closing the door. The door closes behind us. Then I hear... Did she just kill herself? I hear 2 gunshots from inside. Did she just kill herself? I run over to the door, but it doesn't open. Oh, right. She killed herself because Dana can't open the door again. Out of the way. Dana presses her ID card at the panel on the side of the door like she did before to open it. But nothing happened. Oh, she shot the panel. Oh, I see. Okay, so she didn't just kill herself. She shot the panel, and then she's going to go back and die with Sutton. Nothing happens. The door stays closed. Those gunshots earlier. She must have shot the electronic system that opens and closes the door. Shit, why? Why did it have to come to this? It didn't, is the question. I pound my fist against the door. I finally hear a faint voice from behind the door. I'm sorry, Hiroki, but I'm her big sister, you know. I have to be by her side at the very end. I mean, she already died. What are you saying, Aoi-san? This isn't fair. Hiroki, live on. The sound of footsteps reaches my ears, and that sound slowly fades further and further away. That is such bullshit. Like, that is such a cop-out. She's just like, oh, I'm gonna die now, but you can't. You're not allowed to kill yourself, Hiroki. I'm the one. I'm only like 25. I don't have any life left to live. Fuck that. That pisses me off. That is such bullshit. I don't agree with that at all. I pound on the door as hard as I can. Why, damn it? I pound the door so hard my hand starts to hurt. Hiroki, you're bleeding. Dana stops my right hand. There are red marks all over the door. I sit down on the floor and stay there a while, completely silent. Concealment sequence active. This research facility will self-destruct in 15 minutes. All personnel, please evacuate immediately. 15 minutes left. What do we do? I'm so pissed off by this. We get out of here. We need to carry the wishes of both Sutton and Aoi-san now. I look over at Reina, who's sitting next to me. Her eyes are shining with an unshakable determination. Alright, the only way now that we can actually be believed now is if somehow recorded footage of this gets out. If Reina had recorded all of this, then we're fine. But other than that, we should be fucked. But we're not going to be. Her eyes are shining with an unshakable determination. If we follow that map you were given, we should be able to make it to the surface. Come on, let's go. Dana grabs my hand as she says that. I feel like something like this has happened before. I remember now. It's just like the first time I met Dana at the Connect Center. Dana dragged me along with her back then, too. I squeezed Dana's hand in return and stand up. You're right. I still have a job left to do. And there's no way I can let the girl in front of me let Dana die. I pull Dana along with me as I run off down the dark hallway. As long as Dana lives, I'm fine. But, like, I'm still pissed off. The strong shockwaves are causing the walls to start collapsing. They were pretty intermittent. They were pretty intermittent before, but the shockwaves are happening continuously now. And now they're getting stronger. I hear the sound of something collapsing far away every now and again. That room we were in back there was the furthest end of the hallway, so as long as we just go backward, we should reach a stairway somewhere. Wait, the route up ahead is blocked off. There's a pile of rubble blocking our way forward. It must have happened in that earlier mini-earthquake. According to the map, the stairs should be past here. We need to find a different route. But no matter which direction we try to go, we find our way ahead blocked by rubble. Finally, we just end up near the room we were in before. I feel like we've just been running in circles. This isn't good. Let me take a look at the map one more time. Dana's starting to sound worried. Concealment sequence active. This research facility will self-destruct in 5 minutes. All personnel, please evacuate immediately. Only 5 minutes left. If we just keep wandering the hallways like this, we'll end up buried. As I'm trying to formulate our next move. Oh my gosh, is Sodano's ghost gonna heal us? Not kill us. Not kill us, jeez. Help us. I said heal us and then kill us. Jesus. Hiro-kun. It's a voice that I shouldn't be able to hear here of all places. What? I turn in the direction the voice came from and find myself staring at the end of the hallway. There's a single white cat staring at us with its head tilted quizzically. When it sees me staring, it turns the corner and runs off down the left side of the intersection. Why? What explains this? What's wrong? I just heard a voice, and when I looked to see where it came from, I saw a white cat. Huh? Nina takes a look at the end of the hallway as well and gives me a puzzled look. Hiroki, you... I can tell Dana doesn't believe me. If I hadn't just seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it either. But I'm sure I saw it. I take Dana's hand and pull her with me down the hallway to where I saw the cat. But wait! Dana, please believe me. Well, we really don't have the time to be arguing right now. But if there's nothing there, we're going with a different plan right away. Alright. Dragging Dana along, I turn the corner. And there's the cat. There it is. The white cat is standing at the end of the hallway again. And the moment it sees us, it runs off again. This time it takes a right at the intersection. Did Dana see it? Did you see that? Oh, she did. Oh, I was expecting her not to see that. Okay. I did. Oh, thank God. Okay, I'm glad she saw it too. I don't really... A hallucination from just Hiroki would have been kind of annoying. So it's not just some kind of hallucination. Ha! Nice. But Reina follows up with a however right after. You don't really plan to follow it, do you? Do you really think that thing can lead us out of here? I mean, what choice do we really have at this point? Dana, listen to me. Right now, the number one thing that doesn't make any sense here is that cat. Doesn't make any sense. How on earth did a cat get here? If you think about it, it shouldn't be here at all. So that means, conversely, the fact that it's here must have some kind of significance. This is actually really smart from Hiroki. Like, whenever you're in a dire situation like that, sometimes the most significant thing is the thing that doesn't make the most sense, or that makes the least sense. That actually, I like this line of thinking. And besides, I heard it earlier. Heard what exactly? Whoops. I cut her off. Well, I hesitate for a second. If I tell her, she might really think I'm crazy. Concealment sequence active. This research facility will self-destruct in 3 minutes. All personnel, please evacuate immediately. The announcer's voice echoes through the building. Only 3 minutes left. We're really running out of time here. Alright, I'm just gonna say it. I open my mouth. I heard Sodano's voice. Oh, it's the title music. Am I actually gonna get one of these choices right? I'm 1 for 2 right now. Or I'm 1 for 3 at the moment. Dana thinks about it for a minute before. Fine. But just for the record, I think this is totally crazy. What would have happened if I had just said, nah, I imagined it? Would it have been like, oh, you didn't believe in it, you didn't think it's important enough, so the cat disappears and you die? I wonder what would have happened. Just for the, that's weird. I don't know. I decided to put my faith in what you thought was most important, Hiroki. So I'll believe you. That's a weird place to have a choice, by the way. Like, the choice to tell her or not? That's weird. Dana nods at me. We both run off down the hallway. We turn right at the corner, and as I thought, the cat is waiting there for us. The cat's looking this way as if it was waiting for us, and as it sees us around the corner, it runs off once more. I like that we've come full circle and have the title music going. That's really cool. And so we continue chasing after the white cat. For whatever reason, we don't run into any dead ends while we're following the cat. Finally, the cat vanishes into a small hole in the wall. This pathway isn't shown on the map. It must have been created by the earlier shockwaves. The passageway is barely wide enough for humans to pass through. Concealment sequence active. This research facility will self-destruct in 2 minutes. All personnel, please evacuate immediately. Only 2 minutes left. Dana, let's go. Now that we've come this far, we have no choice but to keep going. We steel ourselves and venture into the hole. Ooh. Looks like this passageway goes straight to the staircase. A staircase going up. Our ticket out of here. I look around, but I can't see the white cat anywhere. Hiroki, hurry up! Dana starts running up the stairs. Coming! I start running up the stairs as well, following behind Dana. We desperately keep running up the endless linoleum stairs. Our legs start burning from the exertion. Then around the time we pass a sign that says B2, a huge explosion can be heard going off far below. This is good music for this. I didn't think it would work, but it does. A massive shockwave, unlike any other before it, follows right afterwards. Dana stumbles, but I catch her before she can fall. Painting heavily. Ah, game, come on. Another typo. Dana leans down and puts both hands on her knees. She must be exhausted. It's hardly surprising. My legs are hurting quite a bit from all that constant running too. Are we gonna carry her? Dana's probably hit her limits. Concealment sequence active. This research facility will self-destruct in 60 seconds. All personnel, please evacuate immediately. We won't be able to. There's still time. Don't give up now. I take Dana's hand and try to pull her along, but she doesn't budge. Hiroki, if it's just you, you might still be able to make it out. Don't be stupid. But... Yep, I'm carrying her. I don't have the time to think about this crap. I pull her hand as hard as I can and lift her into my arms before continuing to run up the stairs. Thank you! Hey, what do you think you're doing? Let me go! Hell no! I am not giving up on you here. Okay, I like this. I like this. And not just because I'm holding her, but it's the... I really like that Hiroki's just like, no, cut the crap, we're not doing this, you're coming with me, damn it. I love that attitude that he has with this one. I like that, that's well done. Concealment sequence active. This research facility will self-destruct in 30 seconds. All personnel, please evacuate immediately. I pass the sign saying B1 as the announcer says that. Almost there. Idiot. I ignore Dana as I continue to run up the stairs. One step after another, careful not to trip. Final stair finally comes into sight. There's a single door at the end of the staircase. That must be the exit. Concealment sequence starting. Concealment sequence started. I hear a massive explosion from far below. Another massive shockwave follows it, and I lose my balance. I make sure Dana's above me to guard her from the fall. And then I fall backwards, still holding Dana. I feel my back smack into something hard, and then Dana falls on top of me. Hurry up, get out of here! Stupid! Dana gets off of me and grabs me by the shoulder to try and pull me up. Get up, quickly! I desperately try to stand back up. Half dragging me along, Dana reaches a hand out towards the door. Come on! I put my hand on top of hers and stretch it out as far as I can. I push Dana forward with all my might. Enduring another huge shockwave, I shout desperately. And then... Hey! Light envelops our surroundings. We're outside! It's the light of the sun. We really made it. Except the explosion would still kind of, you know, be a problem. I look over to the side to see the front entrance of the Connect Center. We just come out of part of one of the domes connected to the main building. Hiro-kun. Huh? Hey, the cat. I hear someone's voice next to me. A voice belonging to someone very important to me. Whoa. I got to see you again. Thank you, Hiro-kun. And goodbye. You know, I don't know how I feel about that. 0 days left. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that at all. You know, I don't mind it. Maybe some things are just left illogical, and that's fine. I think I can accept that. I think I'm fine with that. Because that didn't feel wrong. With other things in this game, it felt wrong, but that didn't feel wrong. So I'm not going to question that. I'm okay with that. I think I'm just gonna... This feels like the end of the game. So I think I'm just gonna keep going here. I know this episode's really long. A reversal of the signal. At the end of the day, this is all just speculation. We're inside the cake shop, Zelkova. Reina and I are sitting together at a table. There's 2 iced teas in front of us. We didn't come here to eat cake, it was just a convenient place we chose to meet up at. But it looked strange coming to a cafe and not ordering anything, so we both got something small. Oh, this is nice. Look at her. I like her in casual clothes. Reina's wearing different clothes than she was before, and she has a hat to cover her face. Hey! I like this outfit of hers. She's cute. Originally, the things Kuruda's brain felt were sent to everyone else, which is why when their brains all tried to activate their powers, Kuruda was able to intercept and utilize those signals to activate those powers himself. So my guess is that somehow, the things the other manifestors were feeling started being sent to Kuruda's brain instead, which is what caused him to become so confused. I know I'm the one that suggested this theory, but it isn't really scientific at all. You know, I kind of like how they're going through explaining all this. She's just sipping her drink, I like that. Reina says a little mockingly and sips her iced tea. No, I was thinking something similar too. Back then, Kuruda had been shouting at someone who hadn't been me, Dana, or Aoi-san. So it's possible the thoughts of someone that Kuruda had expected never to be able to regain consciousness again had somehow started flowing back into Kuruda. At the end of the day, it's just a possibility though. So how'd things go on your end with the hospital? I couldn't find it in the end. I see. After we escaped, I tried finding the hospital that Kakadu had been taken to. I asked around all the hospitals that I thought were in range of the Mizanashi house, but none of them had a patient called Amamiya Kakadu. He probably already knows that there are police staking out his house, so he hasn't been back there either. What about you? Instead of answering me with words, she puts a few sheets of paper on the table. She printed out all the news articles she could find at the library. The headline on the paper at the very top read, "Police Department Attacked. Over 20 men killed." I take the stack of papers and peruse through the other articles. A second unidentified body discovered in Fuchu City. A possible connection with the station bombing? An insight into when the Tokyo Center will reopen. Management plans to thoroughly inspect all equipment before giving a concrete date. Are the suspects wanted for the Fuchu station bombing still hiding within the city? The last article has a small picture of me and Reina in the corner. See, this is what I was talking about. And I'm glad that they're addressing this. Like, they're still fugitives. This isn't just a happy ending of, oh, we can reveal the truth. Like, there's still work to be done there. Which is why I'm really pissed that Aoi killed herself. Because Aoi could have given some testimony. But, like, I'm glad they're addressing it. That makes me less annoyed about it. Haruna, Akane, Emma. I'm at the very least, those three names still haven't shown up anywhere. I see. I sigh as I put the bundle of papers back onto the table. Everyone got separated back then, and I haven't been able to contact any of them since. I was wondering where everyone went off to. That was one thing I was going to be upset with if this game ended right now, and it like didn't, without mentioning any of them, I would have so many questions. But like, okay, it's mentioned them and it's saying that they're trying to find them, so I'm fine with that now. I suppose in a sense it's also a good thing that we haven't heard any news about them though. In the end, we weren't able to change anything. Dana says despondently as she sips her iced tea. I don't know about that. Dana continues to suck on the straw for some time. No matter the circumstances, it's always better to hope than to despair. After all, no one knows where they are. Those were the words Dana told me that night in Sotono's room. Dana looks taken aback when I say that. If nothing else, we were at least able to learn the truth. So we'll be able to start changing things now. I suppose you're right. Dana smiles gently and clasps her hands together on the table as she looks at me. Seeing her smile like that, I end up smiling too. Actually, I did manage to find one clue. Huh? Seriously? Dana takes out a small piece of paper and puts it on top of the others. It's a letter written in neat curly handwriting, almost like Dana's. It's a certain person's contact info. We might be able to learn something from them. Next to the letters Aki is what looks like an MRD user ID number. I suppose it's worth a try. I stretch out my left hand to take the memo. Hey, look at that guy's hand. I hear someone say that quietly behind me. I slowly retract my hand. Hiroki. Don't worry about it, it's fine. Oh yeah, I forgot about the finger. It's a miracle we're even alive right now. You're right. Dana slowly closes her eyes. Feels like she's trying to absorb all the feelings she's experienced these past few days. I suppose we should get going soon. Before even more people start to notice us. Before someone recognizes us. Indeed. Dana and I both stand up. I start heading over to the counter to pay the bill, but Dana beats me to it. I look over to what Dana is silently pointing at with her eyes and see the customers from earlier trying to peek over this way. In other words, we'd better leave before we attract any more attention. I nod and leave the bill to Dana. I put a hand to the door and push. Surprisingly light. Suppose I'll probably never come here again. Oh yeah, come to think of it. As I leave the cake shop, I realize there's one last thing I have left to do. I put my hand into my pocket and pull something out. It's my MRD. The ring that connects me to society. There's still a bit of charge left. I turn it on for the first time in a while, and I look for a certain contact on my contact list. Deleting Sodano's contact. Found it. I send a call request to it. No video, voice only. I feel really nervous for some reason. After a few seconds of waiting, someone picks up. Is that you, Hiroki? That's good enough. Hiroki, where are you right now? I hang up. Oh my gosh. His dad? Wow. I did not expect that. One question I have. What happened? We have the memory data of Sodano on my MRD. Are we just ignoring that? Like, are we getting rid of that? I don't know. As a son, I suppose I should do this much for him at least. I turn my MRD off and throw it away in a nearby bush. Now I've done everything I needed to before I depart. Okay, so that's where that ends. I guess we can't see Sodano anymore anyway. Suddenly I realize someone is staring at me and I tense up. Oh, Mikoto! Mikoto's standing in front of me. Just like the first time I met her, she's the only person in the crowd staring straight at me. I wondered what happened to her. I walk over to Mikoto, meeting her gaze. Did I make the right choice? There is no such thing as a right choice. See, that was kind of that was the message of this game, right here, in one sentence. There is no such thing as a right choice. Throughout this game, it has forced me to make decisions that I didn't want to prove this point. I got frustrated by it as it was happening, but looking back on it, I can understand it, and I get the message, and it adds to the message properly, and I'm okay with that. After realizing that that's why they did that, I'm more okay with it. But if you don't make a choice, you cannot hope to change anything. You will end up like me, simply watching over things. Mikoto saw a number of potential futures that all depend on a multitude of choices. Just like how Sodano was scared to get close to people because she could understand them completely. I suppose it's only natural that Mikoto would be scared of choosing when she so intimately understands the futures that will come up from such choices. Knowing how much influence your choice may have, the immeasurable vastness of it all. If the weight of all that was thrust before me, perhaps I too simply would choose to do nothing. I did not truly believe that the future could be changed. But, Mikoto smiles, I am glad I chose to believe in you. And that is when I realized I cannot simply be an impartial observer. I see. That's good then. It may be foolish to remain ignorant, but at the same time, that ignorance gives strength. Because when you can't understand the minds of others, you work harder trying to convey your thoughts to them. Because you can't see what lies ahead, you can wholeheartedly work towards trying to bring about your ideal future. Sodano's last words echo in my mind. We'll see each other again. It's those words that keep me here in this world. They're what gives me strength to keep moving forward and face the unknown. We'll see each other again. I decided to utter those words myself. Indeed. We shall someday. Hiroki? When I turn around to see Elena coming out of Zelkova after paying the bill. When I turn back around, the shrine maiden is nowhere to be seen. Did something happen? Nah, it's nothing. I like Mikoto. I think she's a really good character. I'm sad we didn't see much of her. Whoa! What is this music? Hello, what is going on here? This is a nice art piece. Ah, I like that. I take Elena's hand and she just silently smiles and entwines her hand around mine. My heart starts to beat a little faster. We'll all meet again someday. Mikoto and everyone else too. So long as we continue to make our choices, I'm sure it'll happen. So that's why we need to keep going forward. So that when the end does come, we have no regrets. So that we can have a future we're happy with. Let's go, Dana. Yeah. We step forward into the crowd of people. We step forward to discover our own future. Eventually our pace naturally quickens into a run. Wow. I liked that. And there's the credits. Dang. You know, I kind of wish that they had just kept that music going throughout the credits. I feel like that would have been better. But you know what? I'm fine with this. Man, Takahashi Wataru. Original work. You know, this game has been such a long process for me. It does not feel like it's over yet. You know, I have a lot of respect for this game. It was not executed perfectly, I don't think. But at the same time, I'm not unsatisfied. It's a different feeling than... Ooh, got chills. As I've said when I first started playing this game, this is such a new experience for me. I had never played a visual novel that was, you know... What's the good way to put it? It's darker. It's not happy-go-lucky. That is something I'm not used to. Even things like Doki Doki Literature Club and like Fruit of Grisaya, those have happy-go-lucky moments in them. And like a decent percentage of it is still happy-go-lucky, and then things tend to like go wrong. This was really dark at the end, at like the underlying level. And that was something that I'm not used to. But I'm glad I got to experience that, and I think that this game did that really well. I have to make light of the fact that this game did seem to drag on a little bit. It definitely seemed like... Oh, wow. What is this? Okay. I'm glad now. We got this music. I'm glad. This feels better. This feels more conclusive and satisfying. I'm really glad they put this soundtrack in there now. But anyways, what I was kind of saying was, this game did seem kind of to drag on a little bit. The beginning of this game, and like the first third of it, and then the final third of it, I think were the best parts of it, by a long shot. That's not to say I didn't like the middle part of it, but, you know, I just wasn't big on the Stigma arc that they had going there. I don't really like the fight scenes we had with Sigma. I don't like the kind of cat and mouse game we were playing with him. I didn't like that. But, other than that part of the game, I was very, very satisfied by this game. I adored what it did with playing with emotions. And it dabbled in negative emotions in ways that I've never experienced before from a visual novel. That feeling of helplessness and depression was explored so very well, and it was kind of exemplified in the final bit with Aoi and Hiroki. Aoi and Hiroki were the same, and that they both had given up after Sorano died. And they both had kind of resigned themselves to getting themselves punished just to be forgiven. They both had that same character story. But Aoi never got past it. Hiroki did. As a result, Hiroki lived, Aoi died. Aoi couldn't get past it, and Aoi ended up sacrificing herself. Hidoki was able to live on. I kind of get that. Lizards. Good job, guys. Overall, I very much did enjoy this game. There were parts where I was very upset. There were parts I was not okay with. But at the same time, I'm glad Oh! Oh, that is so awesome! Oh, God. Oh, that brought a tear to my eye. They changed the title screen and the music overlay. Oh, that is so perfect. Oh, man. How can I say anything bad about this now? Oh, that hit my heart. That hit my heart so much. I am sad that this game is over. Oh. Okay, I have to give a small little review, as is customary. This game, like I said, it wasn't perfect. There was that middle third that I wasn't a big fan of. I felt it dragged on a bit, particularly a bit with Sigma. That said, and also, I will say, I'm still not the biggest fan of the fake choice thing. Having looked back on it, I understand it, and I'm okay with it, but it still felt wrong. And there were points in this game where I was very frustrated. I mean, that's easy. Earlier this episode, I was frustrated. But I don't want that to take away from how overjoyed I've been at this game. Oh, and it's even the cake shop Zelkova in the left side there. Oh, that's perfect. Fun fact, I can read that Japanese text above the title now. It just says Memories of Dogma. Memories of Dogma. Dogma. I can read that now. But you know, for all of the frustration that I felt at this game, from the choices or lack thereof, and from certain character aspects, like Aoi sacrificing herself, I didn't like in the moment. But looking back on it, I can say it's fine because of how they executed it. In the moment, I was upset because I was like, okay, Aoi's gonna die, everything's gonna go back to normal, and then we're gonna be fine, but it shouldn't be. But it wasn't fine. There's still work to do. The game ended, but it ended on sort of it didn't end with a fully resolved story. It's resolved, but not fully. And I think that was the only way for it to go. Because if they tried to say, oh, hey, everything's fine now, the truth was revealed, and Hiroki and Dana are fine now, that wouldn't have worked, because they're both fugitives still. And so I'm glad that they took this route. They had Aoi sacrifice herself to show that while her and Hidoki went through the same path, Hidoki was the one to overcome it while Aoi-san wasn't. So Aoi sacrificed herself and Hidoki lived. Looking back on that, I'm fine with it, and I like how they did that. The choices are still annoying. I was still annoyed at the fact that I had to just kind of go back in time and insert myself in there again and just say, oh, well, I guess I make this choice now. That really did frustrate me, and it kind of took away from it a tiny bit. But looking back, I can say that that shows the message of their... You can't just... You have to... How do I say this? It's like Mikoto was saying, and Hiroki was saying with Mikoto. Like, the choices are necessary. You have to be able to make a choice. Not every choice is going to be good. And there are going to be times where a choice is not something you want to make, and you're worried about the consequences of it, and it feels like both options are bad, and there's something that's not going to work, but you still have to make the choice. Those are still some of the most important choices to make. Like they said, sitting there still is worse than making a choice and going forward. It's the fact that we don't know what's going to happen and can hope that something's going to be better that makes us able to go through these things and strive towards bettering ourselves and our situations. And I think that that's an amazing message to have. You know, like for every bad decision we had to make and were forced to make, there was still the hope that there would be a light at the end of the tunnel. And at the end of the day, I think there was. Like this alone, this title screen shows that, in my opinion. You know, I'm very satisfied with this end. You know, the bit with Sorano taking the form of a cat and leading us out, you know, that's one of those things where I say I'm okay with that, because there are some things that are better left unexplained. And you know, that kind of shows that part with Sorano and the cat kind of shows that. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with it's a fictional story. There's nothing wrong with having that little bit of supernatural guidance in there. So I'm fine with that. But that ending, holy cow, with Hiroki and Dana, that was amazing. That was awesome. Whew. Okay, so real quick, I just want to go over some of the things I felt were really strong about this game. Emotions, the emotional pull was amazing. Minus the part with Sigma, the game was really good at manipulating emotions and working with emotions, especially the darker ones and the ones associated with the darker ones. The things they did the best were showing how hopeless and depressing things can be, and then showing the light at the end of the tunnel aspect of it, and kind of that overarching message I just talked about. That was very expertly done and very well written. Also, I loved the characters of this game. Hiroki was very well developed, I think. This game did not suffer, in my opinion, from protagonist disease, where like the protagonist is either perfect or they're so unlikable that it's impossible. In the beginning, he was very depressed. He was in despair, and they showed that very well. And then as the game got farther and the story progressed, he found things to keep himself going. And in the end, he declared that he was going to continue to live. And I feel like that development was shown very well. And it even culminated with the point with Aoi, where he's kind of, you know, showing, hey, I can move on. But, you know, I like his development. Reina, as a character, I adored. I thought Reina was so well done. And I love that they're kind of hinting at them being, like, together now. Like, I really like that. Reina, I felt, was such a wonderful character in her personality, in her genuine caring for people, and her arc of, like, being a really smart researcher, but like her research is being used for things she doesn't want to, and so now she's trying to fight against that. I really like that. But like, she kind of came off as this person that like felt like they're not. She was distant. She was distant, and she wanted to make it seem like she was emotionless, or that she wasn't caring about anything, or that she was, you know, quiet and solitary. And over time, she opened up so much. She opened up to the point where she's like openly discussing her feelings with Hiroki. And like Hiroki became her crutch, and she became Hiroki's crutch. And the two of them being able to rely on each other like that was really wonderful, because they both started as such closed off characters. And then they both opened each other up. And I feel like that is so well represented by this final art here. Like, I wonder if I can... Oh, wow. Theme. Wow. There's a lot here. Huh. Oh, these are the soundtracks! Wow. Oh, it said music at the bottom. Wow. That's awesome. That is awesome. That is really awesome. I kind of want to just make this the... I kind of want to just make this the episode thumbnail, you know? But anyways, so the other characters, just to run through them quickly. Akane, I really liked her kind of backstory they had going, and I really liked her fieriness that they had. It gave some energy to the story where I think it needed some. Emma was a good contrast to Akane, and was kind of like that subtle tone that was necessary to counteract Akane. So that was nice. Haruna also provided some energy, but also provided the innocence that I felt was very needed. The other police officers, forgive me, I forget their names. It's been so long, but I liked them as well. The sense of duty that came from them. I liked the sense of warmth that we had when all of the characters were together. Kakadu gave a bit of satire and a bit of humor, and so that was very useful. And all of the characters just kind of had one little trait that kind of brought them into the story and kind of enhanced the feeling of the game. It all kind of comes back to the emotions of this game. Aoi and Sorano as well kind of gave this feeling of, you know, genuine care and like fuzziness, you know, like all of the characters were really well designed in my opinion. And even like the bad guys, like Kurita. Sigma was my least favorite, but that was just because his whole little arc there was my least favorite part of this game. But you know, his struggle was also something noteworthy. Kurita, I felt like was a pretty decent villain. He was just kind of sadistic enough and crazy enough to like take that extra step to like be cruel, and that was kind of interesting to see. And it kind of made the situation feel more helpless, and it was actually pretty decent to see. Especially during the scene we had a few episodes ago with like the part where we're like getting parts ripped out of our brain with a saw. Like that was pretty great, like as a scene. But overall, just all the characters really did contribute to the story. Sigma's the only one that I was kind of left unsatisfied by. The rest of them all gave something and enhanced the story in some way. It enhanced the emotions of the story and how I feel during the story and about the story. And so I feel like that was a very strong thing this game did. The biggest thing that they did that was really good was their play around emotions. And it did that extremely well. As for visuals, I think they're very well done. It's an art style that's really simplistic, and I really am okay with it. I thought I wasn't going to like it, but I do really like it. I think it fits really well. And I really like the art that was given. I think that their little polish of what they had was very nice with the art. The voice acting I felt was very strong. I liked how they had voice acting for like every character. That's something I really look for in these kinds of games. Most minor characters were really voiced really well and seriously. The voice actors for Hidoki and for Arena and for all the characters who had like really emotional lines, I feel like they did a really exemplary job, and I feel like they should be praised for that. It's really hard to voice act those kinds of things. So I feel like that was another thing that added to the immersion and helped the game be better. The typos, there were a few typos. It was better than most games I've seen. It was better at the language translation than most games I've seen. It still wasn't perfect, and it's not the best I've seen, but it was above average in that regard, and so that's good. As far as polish goes, I feel like the art was well drawn. There was no like busy space. Everything was kind of melded together really well. Kind of like here, there's like the Zelkova cake shop. Like that was not necessary for them to put in, but they put it there for a bit of extra polish, and I like that. Mikoto, shout out for her character. I really liked her character. And for delivering that message there at the end, I feel like she was a good way to provide that. The message overall of this game is very good, as I've said. But, you know, overall, just a lot of praise. I loved this game. I feel like it was done very well, and what I got out of it was very worth the experience, even though this took so long for me to get through. And there were times where it felt like I was kind of dragging through it. I really did love this game. That's why I kept it going, and that's why I'm really glad that I've done it, and I'm sad that it's over now. But I'm satisfied now with this ending. This episode's going on for a very long time now, perhaps like 2.5 hours. 2 hours maybe, I don't know. But, you know, I'm glad I got to say all this about it. It's a very good game. I recommend you guys play it for yourself if you want to. If you want to like explore other parts of it or like read through all the files that they have. It was really nice that they had like all of the clarification for everything. Instead of just going about explaining everything in really arduous text, they just kind of gave you links that you could click to kind of explain things, which was really nice. This game is very well made. You know, it's well written, it's well drawn, it's well created, it's well programmed. And it's well translated for the most part. So there is not much more you can ask for in a game. And this is a very solid, very above average game. It's very good. And I am thoroughly satisfied having played it. It's one of the first series I started on my channel, which is crazy to think about. But I'm very happy with it. So I think I should stop yammering on about it for now. I loved this game. I'm really sad to see it go. I'm just stalling at this point so I don't have to stop looking at this wonderful end screen that was put before me. But I think I'm gonna have to, so got another chill. So thank you guys so very much for watching. Leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below. And I will see you guys next time for whatever it is we are playing together.